Hey YouTube, this is Steve with CB Racing here. Got a special edition for you all today. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Today I have my son-in-law Walter with me and his custom softail. This is a project that we're going to go ahead and convert into a drag bike. And we just wanted to introduce you guys to the man and his machine today, and we'll get started on this today. So, Walt, tell us a little bit about your custom softail.
This is a 96 custom softail Springer, as you notice by the front end. It was built by my uncle back in the 90s. He built custom bikes for a living after he retired from the Army. He worked for Easy Riders when they still had motorcycle shops in various cities. He worked for the one here in Greensboro, North Carolina. This was the last bike he built before he passed away, and I was lucky enough about 5-6 years ago to track down the guy that had it and buy it back so that I could have it.
Good.
This was the first bike I ever laid hands on, working on bikes back when I was a teenager, and essentially the bike that made me fall in love with bikes. So I can think of no better way to honor him other than to turn it into a drag bike, because he also loved bike drag racing. So as we said, it's a 96 custom softail Springer. Motor is fully custom built. The only things that are actually currently on it that are Harley Davidson is the Springer front end, the primary, and the heads on the motor that we installed when we rebuilt it a couple years ago.
Right. So when you first bought the bike back, it had some twin plug. I'm trying to remember here. Twin plug RevTech heads. Had like 12.5-to-1 compression and a ridiculously large camshaft that your uncle had it built that way, and you were trying to ride it on the street, and it didn't behave very well. So we had to put some flat tops in it, and some stock heads, and a milder cam to get it to rideable.
Yeah, it was originally built. It has S&S super stock cases, Axtel cylinders. It had the milled RevTech heads on it with dual plugs per head. It originally had dome pistons in it. As he said, we tried to change some of that. We did change some of that stuff out to make it more conservative, to be able to ride it on the street, be able to ride it on pump gas, because originally it would only run on 110. So those are some things we changed. We dropped down to the 585 cam, went to flat top pistons, put stock Evo heads back on it. We also changed the ignition system and went to a single fire system from a dual fire system, just a little easier to operate and work with.
And you didn't need that other for those twin plug heads anymore, right?
Yeah, so. Yeah, and that was the other thing. Now it runs single plug heads, so we didn't need all that. Right now, the carburetor, as you can see, is kind of dangling off of it. We were doing some carb work, but now, based on what we're going to be doing, we're going to go back to the S&S Super G carburetor and take the Super E back off of it completely.
Right. I noticed the exhaust is not on the bike. That's a thunder header, right? Up there on the bench?
Yeah, I've got
thunder header
on the bench where I was doing some other work, but yes, that's a thunder header exhaust also, which will be staying on the bike as well.
And to state the obvious, obviously we're not going to butcher up the bike. We're just going to make some changes. One of them, the biggest changes, is going to be taking that Springer front end off of the bike and putting it in storage. And we're going to take and put that front end that just came off my OG Sporty. We're going to put it on this. Yep, we're going to put that on there. And this bike was already built with a laced up, it looks like a 180 rear wheel. So a sport bike rim will fit in that thing real nice. We'll keep it real simple. That way we're not butchering up the swing arm or anything like that. We'll leave it stock wheelbase and everything. We're gonna document every step of this, but basically I just wanted to give you guys an introduction and let you see this bike is absolutely beautiful. It's got, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the rear fender's fiberglass. It's a fiberglass wide, like an AirTech fender. The fuel tanks are aftermarket. They're not stock Harley. They were made to swoop down with the frame there or follow the body line. Yeah, stretch tanks.
It is actually still which is one of the cool things about this bike is it is actually still dual tanks. The tanks
Yes.
are two completely separate things.
Yes, it is the dual tank setup.
We will probably only use one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a possibility. So let me grab the camera here, guys, and we'll do a quick walk around on this thing, just to let you all get a good look at it. Surprisingly enough, it does not have a crazy 3-inch belt drive primary on it. That is actually a stock Harley primary. As you can,
we talked about switching it to the chain final drive.
yeah, and we are going to put a chain drive on it, final drive chain, convert it to chain for multiple reasons, one of which being these belts tend to break under heavy load, and if we convert it to chain, then we can make any gearing changes that are necessary to suit the weight of the rider or the output of the bike and so on and so forth. So it's a really nice bike. It's been, like he said, it's been in his family for a lot of years. And it's just not practical. It's not his daily rider. He has a daily rider. Rides that purple fat boy there. So this one here, we're going to set it up for him to race. Now, he is going to ride that old water-cooled 1100 Suzuki of mine next year as well. But while we're working on this, he can ride that. But he's the same as I am. Jap bikes are cool, but my heart belongs to Harley Davidson. So there it is.
17,000 original miles.
17,000 miles on it since it was built. So, and I think didn't you tell me that you were a teenager helping your uncle, in a basement or something, build this thing?
He actually, I have pictures of it still. He built this bike in a spare bedroom of his house.
Yeah.
We actually lived right in front of him on a big piece of property, and the house actually had, every bedroom had a sliding glass door to go outside. So that's why he built it in the bedrooms. When we were done, we put a 4x4 on the door and rode it out in front of the house, out of the bedroom. I was with him basically every step of him building this bike in that spare bedroom. I remember holding the tanks in place for him so he could mark where holes needed to be drilled or tabs added. I was there the day he got the paint stuff back. Some of you guys on the channel may know Roush Racing. Interesting little fact about this bike, the paint job was done by the guy that actually painted the Roush race cars in the 90s.
Is that right?
Roush Racing had a garage in Liberty, North Carolina, and that's where my uncle lived. And he knew a lot of the guys, worked on a lot of their bikes, and they traded a lot of work, at that time. And he did some work on the painter's bike, and the painter asked him how he wanted it painted, and he said, "I don't care as long as it's red, white, and blue like America." So this was the paint job that he got. I was there when he took it out of the box, and he literally almost cried when he saw it. I was there the first time this bike was ever cranked. I was standing there with it. Like I said, this is ultimately the bike that made me fall in love with bikes. So it's pretty awesome to be able to go on this journey with it.
Well, I'm glad that we're actually going to start doing this project, because I know how much this bike means to you, and I know how much it's sitting around collecting dust has been bothering you, and I think this is going to renew your passion in this bike, and we're going to get a lot of seat time out of this, and you're going to have a good time. So and enjoy something that's a piece of your family's history. So, and we'll be enjoying it instead of it sitting in a corner somewhere with the whole, what do you call that? Wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I could. So yeah, so Bruce's Old Custom, we're going to get it battle ready. Okay. We're going to get it ready to do some battle on the track. And just a quick, introduction on this man here and his machine. This is my son-in-law, by the way, and he's the one that's been doing my custom machine work for my bikes. So we're going to document this project and bring it to you all. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.